Welcome back. Let's return now to the Olympics in Rio and the dark thread running through these tense games, the doping scandal involving the Russian team. More and more high-profile athletes are speaking out about this, saying doping offenders shouldn't be allowed to participate in the competition. Some have even called for lifetime bans. The anger over doping erupted this week in the pool. Russian swimmer Yulia Efimova and Sun Yang of China both blasted by their rivals and the public, and both served suspensions for doping in the past. Well, American swimmer Lily King beat out Efimova on Monday to win gold in the 100-metre breaststroke. King had some very strong words for her Russian rival, and her finger wag has become a defining moment of the Games. Amanda Davies asked King's parents about that now famous finger wag and their daughter's outspoken nature.
What's become now the legendary finger wag was not staged. She was not aware that there were cameras in the ready room and that she was being filmed or watched. But that's, that's very much her personality. She's kind of sassy, and that's just kind of the way she rolls.
Do you think Lily knew what she was getting herself into?
I think it was very in the moment. I don't think that she was asked questions. She's a very honest, outspoken person, so she answered the questions she was asked.
She's and that kind of behavior just kind of extends through her whole life. She's very blunt and honest, and some people really embrace that honesty, and some folks might be pushed back a little bit by that, but that's just who she is, and I don't think she's really has anything to apologize for. That's just how she is, and that's just if you ask her a question, she's going to say so.
It must have been nice to hear the likes of Michael Phelps stand up for Lily as well.
Yeah, it's been great. Just people from all over. So I think she's got a lot of people behind her, and she knew that. And like I said, I don't think it was something intentional. I think she just answered a question.
You said that she is very naturally quite outspoken. Do you think this is the start of something longer term?
I don't know. I know that if someone asks her about how you should conduct yourself in an athletic situation or any situation, that making the choice to do it naturally and performing clean is the way to go. I don't know if she's necessarily going to be the voice of that idea, but hopefully this will create some momentum with the governing bodies, with FINA, with of course the governing body of swimming, and hoping this can give them some momentum to push a little harder to do it right.
Well, I'm joined now by Chris Cooper via Skype from Colchester, England. He's the author of the book Run, Swim, Throw, Cheat, The Science Behind Drugs in Sport, as well as the director of the Centre of Sports and Exercise Science at the University of Essex. Great to have you with us. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Well, Lily King certainly didn't hold back when she was giving her thoughts, and the 19-year-old was backed up by Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. Given the finger wagging that we've seen and the audience booing, have you ever noticed this sort of reaction before at any other games?
Not so much in the Olympics, but certainly in world championships and other sports, when doping raises its head, specifically on individuals, I've certainly seen that kind of reaction. I remember Paula Radcliffe having her colleagues having a banner saying "drug cheat" to an individual athlete when they were trying to compete. So I have seen athletes do this before, rarely at the Olympics, and I think that's a function of what's happened in the run-up to these Olympic Games.
Why do you think some athletes, like the Russian Yulia Efimova, who has served a suspension for doping before, why are they being given a second chance?
Well, there are rules. So doping is just a rule in sport. So if you're asking me about the general rule, because it's not just Efimova who's given a second chance, there is a rule in sport that if you are caught doping, you face a sanction, and that sanction varies for the first offence from 2 years to 4 years, for 3 months, actually, from 3 months to 4 years, for a whole range of reasons that I can go into. And a second offence that is deliberate is a lifetime ban. So that's no different, and that has been the case in sport for a long time. There are a range of reasons why that's the case. I have to say, if I talk to elite athletes, those who are doping are normally quiet, but those who are not doping and are clean always want a lifetime ban. So that's not unusual, and the talk you're hearing, if you like, in interviews, is what you would hear almost certainly in the locker room if these people were talking off camera. So it's just come out in the open. But I don't think that's different in terms of how athletes' perception is about doping.
For this Olympics, doping we've seen has pretty much benched Russia's entire track and field team, plus their weightlifting team, and also several individual athletes from swimming and rowing, some cyclists. But it's not just the Russians. Also, China has come under fire by an Australian swimmer.
Yes, and as I say, those kind of allegations occur all the time. I mean, I think I remember the World Athletics Championships in recently. The media hype was in Britain, at least, was all about drug cheat Gatlin versus clean Usain Bolt. So those things aren't at all new, because the rules are you don't get banned for life. There are a range of reasons why they are. Therefore, you see those allegations. So it's not just, you're absolutely right though, it's not just against Russia. But I think what's happened in these games is because the IOC have gone about this in a rather confused manner, where some Russians were banned for life, or banned for these Olympics because they had a previous doping offence, even if that time had been served, and then that got overturned. It's created this complete, if you like, almost like vacuum where people, I mean, I'm an expert and I don't even know why some people are competing or not at these games in terms of Russia. So it's created a big confusion, and I'm not surprised that this has resulted in athletes talking out. In contrast, in the Paralympics, they've done, in my opinion, is the correct view. They've looked at the McLaren report on doping in Russia. The McLaren report was about state-sponsored doping, not about individuals, and therefore the IPC have decided to ban the state. The IOC didn't go down that route, and therefore this confusion at the Games has arisen almost as a direct result of the IOC's ruling, which has created a large amount of confusion near the Games.
All right, Chris Cooper, we're going to have to leave it there for now, but this issue is not going to go away. I'm sure we'll speak to you again about it soon. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.